In this video, I'm talking about how to improve ChatGPT copywriting by priming to make sure that you produce high quality results that stands out above the crowd. Because I don't know if you've noticed yet, but all of the copy that is happening online right now is starting to look the same. You see the same word pop up that never really popped up before. Words like delve, thrilled to announce, demystify, and so many other words that kind of weren't getting written about up until ChatGPT came along and everybody just started relying on AI without editing it into their own words. The challenge that we now have is that ChatGPT has leveled the playing field. Anybody who used to be an average or below average copywriter is now at the average point. But what has happened is while their copywriting skills may have changed and become a little bit better, so has everybody else's in the world. So what that has done is it's raised the bar in terms of what is actually good. Most people are not writing good copy these days, and I can guarantee you the best copywriters out there, while they might use ChatGPT to help in some ways, they're not relying on it to write their full articles or their full sales pages or their full emails. In the last 9 years, I've generated over 1 million leads online through funnels and ads. So I have become a decent copywriter and I kind of know what to look for and what should be said. And while I am somebody who does use ChatGPT these days, I make sure that I use it in a way that nobody else is using it. So by the end of this video, I'm going to give you the exact steps. In fact, I'm going to take it a little bit further. I'm going to give you my GPT that I used to prime ChatGPT first so that we can make sure that we are talking to the customer avatar, not to the product like everybody else does. Let's dive in. So a quick backstory, I have an online education business in the holistic pet care space. We've done a couple of $1 million in revenue in the last 2 years, generated a massive email list of over 100,000 people. And I'm in a place right now where I'm trying to disseminate all of the knowledge that is in my head and formulate it and template it into ChatGPT and these GPTs so that it's not just me having to do all of the work, so that I can start to give more of this work to my VAs from the Philippines and they can take care of more of the important parts of the business. So I've been documenting the entire thing in this newsletter as well. So I'm going to skip through this newsletter and commentate on it because a lot of people have given me some really great feedback. This particular newsletter is based on everything I've learned over the years. And if you don't want to read it, then in the description, there will be a place for you to go sign up for the newsletter. And the very first email that you will get will include this free GPT that you can use immediately and just go through and follow the steps. But if you want to learn the thought process behind me setting this up, then this is exactly what this video is going to show you. So the big thing to think about here is that your life is like Google. Ask it shitty questions and you'll get shitty answers. That was one of the first things that I learned about when I started going down the personal development route about 10 years ago. And the same holds true for ChatGPT. If you simply ask it to write you a promotional email, then it will write you a promotional email, but it's going to look exactly the same as everybody else. But if we can prime it first with the right information, like customer details, what are their pain points, what are their toward and away from motivators, their desires, what's keeping them up at night, if we can hit on those particular emotional triggers, that's when our copy can become unique and not look like everybody else. And that's exactly what I'm achieving here with this particular tutorial. So I do want to put a caution out there. I have big props for all of these guys on TikTok that are putting themselves out there talking about AI, but they seem to hype every single product. And I can guarantee you right now, 90% of those products are not in a position right now to actually be useful in a proper business that makes real money. So let's not get overwhelmed. Let's focus on the big tools like ChatGPT and use them more efficiently. And then as the other tools do become better eventually, then we can start to put some more focus over there. But for now, don't get caught up in the hype by these young kids on TikTok. So how to prime ChatGPT? Step 1, we need to prepare our documents. So as we go through the GPT, it's going to give us some information. We want to transfer that information from OpenAI or the ChatGPT thread into a document. So you need to open yourself up a Google Doc so that you can begin to copy the outputs over there. Why? Because at the end, when you have a fully prepared document, you can use it in 2 different ways. Number 1, you can download it as a PDF and upload it into your own GPT on the GPT store, or you can use it to put into the ChatGPT thread every time you open up a new one so that it knows exactly who you are, your business, your writing style, and the customer that it needs to speak to. This way you will get way better results. So you might be asking, well, Mitch, what is the information that I really need to collect here? Let's dive in and have a look at that. So here we are now inside the GPT and I've gone ahead and begun the process to fill out the information. So let's say that I want to do an AI for Coaches masterclass. There isn't one, not just yet at least, but that's what I've chosen for this example. It helps coaches save time by using AI in their workflows. Next, I tell the GPT is for coaches, consultants, speakers, online education, business owners who want to improve the quality of their marketing, generate more leads, and become more productive. Next, I talk about my brand is the reluctant hero and also an authority. Next, like I said, the writing style, which is super important. I am direct, short sentences, and to the point. Right at the 6th grade level, it should feel like you're talking to a friend, be a likable authority. Next, we talk about what is unique. So I've personally generated over 1 million leads with digital marketing, and the teachings and templates are based off these strategies. And right now I don't have any additional information. So once I've filled that in, it now begins to give the really valuable stuff. So pain points and language. So it's now created these 3 pain points that we really want to focus on in our marketing, but not just our marketing. We then want to use these pain points in our presentation or in our masterclass as well, and talk about this is what we're going to solve on this particular masterclass for you by the time you get to the end. That way people are going to stick right through. If we're happy with that, then we just click yes, and the GPT will continue. So after we've hit yes, we now have the full toward and away from motivators completed for us. So the away from motivators, fear of wasting time and resources, anxiety over ineffective lead generation, overwhelm from marketing complexity. The toward motivators, desire for efficient time management, aspiration to increase lead generation and conversion, seeking expertise and proven strategies. If you are one of those people, do you think these are probably some of the away from motivators and the toward motivators that you have? If I was to guess, they probably are. And even for myself as well, as business owners, these are all the things that are true to what is inside. These are the things that we react to. So once we're happy with those, if we don't want to make any more edits, we hit yes and it continues on. Finally, now we have the additional marketing considerations. So we're now talking the extra things that you need to take into account for, like common phrases or angles that you want to avoid. So you want to steer clear of particular overused digital marketing jargon, and it names a couple of things there like game changer and revolutionary. You want to stay away from generic promises like take your business to the next level. You want to stay away from the one size fits all approach. So we want to make sure that we're saying that it's customized and personalized to them or their particular industry. We then look at, okay, what other influences do we need? What are the social influences that we need in this particular campaign? Social proof, absolutely all the time. Community building, how can they engage with others in the community as well? Influencer partnerships, who are the people in the industry that we can partner with to bring more credibility to us and more value to the customer? And then we're talking about expectations and preferences. So what are the practical and actionable content that you can create? How do we need to create it? The customizable strategies. So how can our methods be tailored to different types of coaching and consulting businesses? And the transparency and authenticity. So what are some of the things that we need to consider there? So now that I have all of this created, I would just go ahead and copy all of these main points and save it into Google Doc, and then we are done. Before we finish up, let me give you the most important lesson that I've learned in my entire 9 years working online. When writing copy, focus on the emotional triggers. Who is the customer? What are their fears? What are their pain points? What are their toward motivators? What are their desires? What keeps them up at night? These are the things that your copy does to get them into making a buying decision. If you just go into ChatGPT and ask it to write you an email, it's going to ask you what's it for, and then it's going to proceed to write an email specifically about the product. It's going to talk features and benefits of the product. But the thing is, we're not selling products to people. People don't want to buy those things, but they do want their pain points solved. So if we can speak to the person and how we can help them with their pain points, how our solution is the answer for them, that is what is going to change the entire game for you in your marketing. So go and sign up for the newsletter, get this GPT, and make sure you use this GPT every time before you begin a marketing campaign moving forward, so that you can make sure that your emails, your copywriting, your sales pages are dedicated towards the right things. Focus on the emotional triggers, not the product.